Catherine, should the Bank of England have done more?
Well, I think because the Fed funds had raised by three-quarters of a point the day before, they certainly had the leeway to do that. And as we've talked earlier about the dollar against the pound, it's now down to 1.21. So that'll kind of help some industry who are trying to export, but it's for a lot of what the UK does. A lot of our service industries won't be happy about that. A lot of our investment funds won't be happy about that. So I think that they should have, yes, because everyone kind of knows in August, their next meeting, 4th of August, they'll do it again. And so it's like, well, why not do it? And the Fed said that they expect rates to be 3% by the end of the year. So they're on a track.
They're on a tear.
So I don't.
Let's just unpack what you said so everyone listening and watching can follow. What you're saying, Catherine, is that because the Bank of England has raised interest rates now by less than the Federal Reserve, that means the dollar will strengthen against the pound will weaken, the dollar's relatively more attractive given those higher interest rates. A weaker pound, Justin, and we've seen the pound fall in the last hour or so after this Bank of England decision. That will, of course, make imports more expensive, pushing up inflation, pushing up prices in the shops, pushing up prices of imported components for our firms. And what Catherine's saying, Justin, and do you agree with her or not, that the Bank of England should have just gone for it and gone for at least a half-point hike in interest rates?
Look at what the Bank of England's done over the past few months and the statements they've been putting out, and they've been seen to be coming over as being pretty weak, wussy. And here was an opportunity to actually sit there and say, as Catherine was saying, right, well, after seeing that big rise yesterday from the Fed, we could come up with something pretty strong and said, right, here's a message, this is important stuff, we're taking this seriously. There isn't a direct line of causation between interest rates and inflation. It sort of indirectly hits inflation, particularly this sort of inflation, which, of course, is being impacted because of the war and other issues.
Food and fuel prices.
All of those elements, whereas, say, inflation back in the 70s was being directly affected by, expenditure and retail expenditure especially.
And big wage hikes because of lots of trade unions.
So it's slightly different this time round. So you could put those interest rates up now, be seen to be having that impact, but also the other side of it, actually then making sure that there's reason for the economy to be growing. Where are the incentives to actually see those areas of the economy where we know there are positive elements? You're covering one today with regard to batteries, where we could actually see there's something which is actually requiring new innovation, new investment, and that's what the story we should be trying to actually push more, because all this does at the moment, I'm afraid, is get rid of that vital word, which is confidence.